So if sex still hurts because of vulvodynia, it's not because you missed a step. It's because your body is doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's there to protect you. And until you shift how your body experiences intimacy and pain, your body will still say no, even if you want to say yes. My name is Kayna Cassard. I'm a sex therapist, a pelvic pain mental health coach, and I dealt with vulvodynia for over a decade. And I also dealt with the impact it had on my body, my life, my relationships, and my sexual self-esteem. So I get the struggle. And I also found the solution and why I make these videos. So let's dive into the one mindset and treatment shift that you need in order to help your body learn it doesn't need to keep protecting you even when your tissues are healed. It can be so incredibly frustrating to do all of the right things, follow all the doctor's advice, do all the creams, the prescriptions, everything. It's so frustrating when you do all that and you're still left with pain. And it's even worse when doctors look at you and are like, I don't know. It's terrible. It's so heartbreaking and it can make things feel really discouraging and hopeless. One of my clients had been through multiple rounds of PT, couples therapy. She was so thorough. She read every book. She tried everything. And it felt impossible for her to overcome the pain that she was still experiencing, even when she wanted to have intimate experiences again with her partner. And what helped her finally move out of pain wasn't some new random exercise or a different treatment plan. It was the way that she related to her body and intimacy. And that's what I'm hoping you'll arrive at too. So let me bring home to you that this is not your fault. It's not your partner's fault. It's probably not a doctor's fault. They're doing the best that they can. The challenge is that we have not been taught how to understand our body's way of protecting us when it comes to sex and intimacy. Even if you don't have pain, we just haven't been taught how to deal with our bodies and connect them to true intimacy in a way that feels safe for our bodies, especially if there's been pain or trauma in the past. So chronic pain, like vulvodynia, becomes wired into the brain as a safety mechanism. So the nervous system, the part of your body that tells you whether you're feeling safe or not, has learned to anticipate pain even when the tissues have healed, because the prescriptions that go on the tissues aren't working on that brain pain pathway as deeply as other work can do. So your body isn't malfunctioning. It's just misfiring in an attempt to keep you safe. And you need to learn how to stop those signals of misfiring. So part of the problem is that people think that they can just logic their way through this. They think that they can tell themselves, my partner is safe. I've done all the treatment. I can use the physical therapy practices or the dilators that are the same size as my partner. Why is this still not working? And talk therapy and couples therapy can be really helpful to provide insight and deeper understandings, but they don't always change your body's reflexive response. So the nervous system, the part that keeps us safe, it's wired through sensation, not logic. And so that means that you don't need to necessarily just think differently, but you also need to learn how to feel differently, which happens through the body's language of sensations, not through the more logic-oriented mind process or cognitive process. And that's why somatic interventions, especially trauma-informed somatic interventions, are incredibly crucial and the one shift that needs to happen for all vulvodynia patients. So if you want a little introductory example of what somatic techniques are like for vulvodynia, I made a small course that helps people walk through these 5 foundational interventions that I do with every single one of my vulvodynia clients. It's a very approachable 5-day intro course called Break Free from Pelvic Pain, and it's designed to help your nervous system move out of fear and into trust in your body. You can start that anytime. It's just $27 and you can get it at kaynacassard.com/breakfree, or there's a link below. One of the crucial things about learning and understanding that this is a nervous system or a body-based challenge of just reframing or rewiring the misfiring is that it helps reduce the shame that so many vulvodynia patients carry with them. I've heard so many times, and I experienced it myself, that avoidance, sexual avoidance, intimate avoidance was one of the biggest challenges and hurdles that people kept running into even when their tissues were healed from vulvodynia. So I help them learn that avoidance is actually an intelligent nervous system design. It's not a failure or a flaw. Avoidance isn't about being lazy or disinterested or not being attracted to your partner anymore. It's actually the body just saying, wait, this isn't safe. I haven't gotten the memo yet that it's okay for us to engage in penetration, because the past 6 months plus more years. Who knows? For me, it was, like I said, almost a decade. The body learned for that amount of time that intimacy equaled pain. It didn't understand that intimacy in certain contexts was okay. And it didn't get the memo that, oh, my tissues are healed, so intimacy should be okay. It has just known for so long that intimacy equaled pain. So this is my invitation to you to shift from any sort of shame that might be going on, feeling like it's your fault or in blame or in doubt, any of those things, and into understanding that this is a biological response. This is something that your body was designed to do. And when we tell ourselves, I should just be okay with this, I should just be fine with having sex, I should just be turned on, why am I not turned on? Why do I not want to be engaged with my partner? When you stop fighting that from a cognitive process and start working with your body, the pressure drops, and that's when healing can begin again. This is why I approach everything from the somatic and trauma-informed lens, because trauma-informed healing is about the pacing of safety. It's not about forcing or expecting pleasure or pushing through or tolerating pain. So one of my favorite interventions is just to focus on teaching experiences that don't suck. So I mean, like teaching couples or a client how to engage with their body or their partner around sexual intimacy in a way that just gets them to neutral, gets them to a place where their bodies can just not anticipate pain. And that's hard to do. And you can't just tell yourself that. You have to learn it through sensations in a trauma-informed practice. But right now, what you can start doing is seeking out that experience of neutrality and of finding a sense of safety in your body. And that can be so much easier said than done, which is why I'm here and trying to teach as many people as I possibly can about this. So you do this by building the capacity of experiencing intimate moments with neutrality through touch, through sensation, through control, and nervous system regulation tools. It's incredibly important to experience intimacy as safety, not as performance or as seeking pleasure all the time. When my client Chrissy learned that and really felt it in her body and not just tried to force herself through in her mind's story, that's when everything shifted for her. She was able to engage in sexually intimate moments that didn't feel like they had pressure or guilt or disappointment, and definitely didn't experience pain. So this mindset shift is the first thing that I take through every single one of my clients and what they integrate into their process when they start working with me. Because once they understand that their pain is a form of protection, not failure, they stop blaming themselves. They start feeling more hopeful, more in control, and more connected to their bodies and their partners. And that confidence, that sense of knowing where they're going and what is happening at every step of the way, is a thing that actually creates the momentum and keeps them moving forward and feeling hopeful about their steps. So it's not about finding the perfect exercise or the best stretching routine. It's about creating a relationship with your body and with sex that's based in trust, not fear. So if you're really relating to all of this content, you're like, yes, this is me, this is what I need, then you're going to want to watch what's in the next video. I'm going to unpack one of the worst pieces of advice that most vulvodynia patients get. A lot of times I hear, just slow down, just relax, try to enjoy it. I'm not going to be able to enjoy something that I have experienced pain with. And so we're going to unpack that myth and help you understand what is actually going to be better. I'll also show you how that advice isn't just bad advice, but it also might be keeping you stuck. So stick around and I'll see you there.